Hi, I'm Kenny Anderson, Director of Multicultural Affairs for the City of Huntsville, and welcome to Impact. Each week we bring you information about exciting things that are happening right here in this community, and today will be no different. One of the things that is often discussed here in our community is what's happening in North Huntsville. Well, folks, I have to say there are a lot of exciting things that are happening, and there are as many people invested in the future of this community as there are those who are interested in coming together to make an impact. I'm going to talk with a group of individuals today who are going to talk about what they're doing to make their investment in making a difference in Northwest Huntsville. Dr. Deidra Willis is here with us today. She is the founder of the Northwest Charter Organization. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you.
And Mr. Garrett Jones is here with us. He's a partner that supports this agency as well.
Hello, thank you.
Now, we know this is a nonprofit, so this is always a good thing to know that there's a new organization in the community making an impact. But tell me a little something about where this organization started and what your mission is.
The project actually started maybe 2 years ago when we got together as a team that talked about what's going on in Northwest Huntsville and all the things that we saw. A group of concerned people, okay, which turned into a partnership, which turned to us put into action. And we are action team. So therefore we got together, formed a partnership in order to help better the lives of Northwest Huntsville. We're here to help the youth as well as the families. We have several projects going on that's very interesting.
Yeah, let's make sure people understand what's happening first too, though. So a group of concerned people, and this is really important for me because a lot of people are always talking about what they want to do.
Right.
Some actually do and some don't. But the other aspect of that is sometimes people don't know what to do and how to do it. And they can receive inspiration from those who have. So is this just a group of people sitting around a table one day and they just kind of say, hey, let's talk about what we need to do? Is it the recognition of some gaps in the community or some opportunities? Is it just somebody that says, I want to volunteer and dive right in? How does that work? Walk us through what was happening with you and your group.
Well, it goes back. I'm an educator. I've been educating here in Huntsville for about 20 to 25 years. And we have a vestige in our community. We want to help the community. I have teachers on staff that's come aboard and say, hey, we can do this.
So even before, you see, you're so far ahead of me. How do you call a girlfriend? Are you sitting in a church meeting? Are you at home one afternoon just sitting on the couch and thinking, I need to do something? I mean, how does that actually begin? How do you go from this concept to a 501c3? There has to be something happening in the middle of that. That's what I'm trying to get to.
I'll take you a little further back.
Yeah.
Back at my years at Alabama A&M University, I studied accounting. We went to St. Louis to visit to have a workshop, a conference, CPA conference. During that conference, we traveled to East St. Louis. After seeing the streets of East St. Louis and the city, it was so overwhelming. I said, okay, I need to take this back home. Way back, I guess that's 30-something years.
Mm-hmm. Been a while.
It's been a while. We talked about different things, my co-workers and different people. But we saw Northwest Huntsville slipping a little bit. And we didn't want that to happen. Mm-hmm. So this talk has been for 30 years. Mm-hmm. And you hear a lot of people want to do things to step up the game. Well, we want to take action. So we've talked to teachers. I've talked to teachers. I have people with job skills tell me what they can do. So one day we met at Starbucks.
And I still want to get the we. Is this just friends of yours or colleagues?
No, it's
work
colleagues.
Associates, people like Gary. Gary gets involved at some point, and I know that's part of the journey, but it's not just you.
It's not just me, it's a team.
Right. So you call somebody and say, hey, let's do this, or you...
Actually, when people heard my vision, they started calling me.
Where were you telling people about your vision?
Church, sorority meeting, in the schoolhouse, and giving great ideas and helping people along the way. And even my students have come back and said, hey, you need to do this, you need to do that. Hey, I will help you do this. Right. So when I say it's a group, it's a team, it's a network, that's what it is.
So you decide to become a 501c3. How do you make that determination? And then, of course, obviously as a 501, you have a vision, you have a mission. How did that all come to be?
Because we wanted to give back. We didn't want to make a
Right.
profit. We don't want to make a profit out of this. We're here to help the community, help it grow, help build strong families. And that touches to the heart. And it's a family affair. We really want to bring everybody in to help everyone. And right now, I have a academy. And that touched even closer because the kids and the parents are telling me what they need, what they want.
Is that part of the Northwest Charter Organization? Is that
No, it's
something
not a
different?
part. It's different, but it has come apart because with the Northwest Charter, I was able to partner with 8 other schools and daycares in order to complete a grant that we had available to us.
And what did that grant provide?
Project 1 was a grant for early Head Start. Early Head Start from ages 0 to 3.
Critical developmental time for kids
Yes.
as far as just interaction with parents and the nurturing environment and learning how to read and walk and all that good stuff.
Read and walk, and also it gives the parents to understand how to parent a child. We have preteens that are not sure how to parent a child. So we're taking those opportunities that the state has provided us as well as Head Start themselves. We're looking at the whole child, the behavior aspect, the dental, medical, bringing screenings in to help those kids. Also working with the parents, getting their job skills up. So that led us to expanding Northwest Charter.
Yeah, to this academy that you have. Garrett, how'd you get involved with this?
Well, I went to a meeting, and I'm from Northwest Huntsville originally. I do live in Madison now, but I grew up in Northwest Huntsville, and I've seen lots of changes. But I went to a meeting with Deidra and Deidra, and pardon me, and I got excited about what they were doing, and then I felt like I needed to get back involved with Northwest Huntsville to give something back, and my role will be to mentor young black males, which as we can see from day to day, you know, there's a big need for mentorship. We need to talk to them about things like, science, engineering, education, how to interact with the police, how to dress, how to treat ladies, how to not be a bully, things of that nature. So that's
How to get a job.
That's thank you. How to get a job, how to go to further education,
Yeah.
Right now, if you get an education at high school graduation, high school degree, then it's okay, but there's things out there that can take you farther with more education. So that's where my role comes in, and I'm new at this myself. I got a lot of learning to do. Maybe I need to get with you and you mentor me, or somebody mentor me. But in effect, I will end up mentoring other young males, not just black males, the Northwest community males as a whole. So,
Right.
And then sometimes I see disparities between Northwest Huntsville and Southwest Huntsville, and I want to bring things back to an even keel for both parts of the city. Shouldn't be 2 Huntsvilles, there should be only one, and Huntsville is Huntsville.
Right. Well, I certainly appreciate the commitment you're making because you're 2 citizens, don't have titles or anything,
Right.
major offices, but you're out there as concerned residents wanting to make a difference.
Right.
Originally from Northwest Huntsville, Garrett, but
Right.
living in Madison now, but giving back to Northwest Huntsville,
Exactly.
which I do also,
Right.
as a former resident of Northwest Huntsville. But like I said, I still have a house there, so I'm still invested
Right.
in that community for sure. And the reality is that you're sitting in this meeting and you hear this opportunity
Right.
that a lot of people hear. And I'm just wondering, what was it about what you heard that motivated you to want to take some action?
Well, the things they were talking about were so exciting, and they just brought a new vision to, I sometimes, like you say, you hear the same things over and over, lip service. Well, they actually brought some things about how they were going to do some things. They got me excited, and like I said, I just felt like it was time for me to give back. Like I'm pretty active in Madison also. So, like I say, being that my parents do still own a house in Northwest Huntsville, I don't want to see the home values go down. I want to see things come back to the old Northwest Huntsville when I was a kid. So.
And so you mentioned these multiple projects. You were operating the grant and an opportunity to be able to promote these programs and services. What kind of response have you gotten so far from people that have either participated in the initiative or parents?
I've had a great response. And living in Northwest Huntsville, which I still live in Northwest Huntsville, I'm knocking my door, Dr. Gopher, can you help me with this? Can you do this for me? What can I do? So it's a great demand out there. And like I say, Northwest Huntsville, we're struggling. We have several most of the schools in Northwest Huntsville, I say about 90% are struggling. 75% are not meeting standards. That's a concern to me. This is our future. We want to help these students be the best they can be. So that's what we're here for, to assist them.
So how can people assist you that are listening this afternoon? And I think we said all we need to say to let people know, number one, concerned citizens who initiated something and decided we're going to try to make a difference. We're not going to wait for some big mandate or legislation to make it happen. Number two, you got boots on the ground. You're actually out there making it happen every day. Now, how can people come alongside you and be supportive of what you're doing?
Anytime. We have a major fundraiser coming up with Cynthia Bailey. It's networking, fashions with Cynthia Bailey. We're going to talk to small businesses, bring education in to talk what can we do to help promote Northwest Huntsville. How can we help the families in Northwest Huntsville? And we're going to give scholarships to students in Northwest Huntsville. We want the students to be able to transition to their next school successfully. So that is very important to us. The other way you can get in contact with us is northwestcharterorganization.org. That's nwcharterorganization.org.
Are you interested in volunteers? Can people volunteer
Yes,
to help
they
you out?
can.
I'm
We're
sure.
looking.
It sounds like you can use some more foot soldiers.
Yes, sir. We're looking for volunteers.
What do the volunteers do? Do they need to be teachers, mentors? What do they need to be?
For you. Well, one thing is we have this. I'm excited about. My daughter has a business called Gab Translation, which she majored in Spanish, and now she has an interpreting business where she's going to interpret Spanish for doctors, lawyers, policemen, anybody that needs translation from English to Spanish, written or verbal, and she's there to provide that service, which will be part of this grant, part of Northwest Charter Organization. So Gabrielle Jones, she will be available through Northwest Charter Organization, and that's just one of the things we're excited about. We got a lot of young people that's bringing some exciting things to the table, and we're getting them involved. And that's the thing too, is to get the youth involved, and then you have a foundation and something to build on.
And you mentioned children a few times, so I got to believe that with all of the colleges and universities here in this community, you'd love to have people from maybe social work departments and early childhood education departments and psychology departments to come alongside you. Maybe they can do internships with your organization because that's always a possibility to be able to help out. And that would give you more boots on the ground to be able to actually get the work done. It just sounds like a great opportunity for lots of people, including the opportunity to make a contribution to a 501c3, which is great because you are a nonprofit organization, which means that people who write checks to you can do so and get a tax deduction for that. As you build this organization, of course, there are many opportunities that you're going to have to be able to build coalitions around the community to make this possible. And we simply wish you the best. So once again, tell us how people can get in touch with you to find out more information about the Northwest Charter Association.
Yes, northwestcharterorganization.org. That's nwcharterorganization.org, or Facebook.
All right. And it's the same on Facebook?
Same on Facebook.
Okay, Northwest
Charter.
Yeah, keep saying it so people can hear
Northwest
it.
Charter.
Yeah,
Northwest Charter.
They may be looking for a pen or pencil to write that down. They're excited.
Northwest
They want to
Charter.
get involved.
Can I just say, too, there's lots of work to be done in Northwest Huntsville, and everybody wants to give lip service. Everybody wants to complain. But unless you get up and do something, then things might remain the same. You know, it's not fair to have a few hands doing a whole lot of work. Many hands make less work. So please come out and help us. Northwest Charter Organization, part of Northwest Huntsville. We want to revamp. We want to do it, make it like it used to be.
If my arm was long enough, I'd give you a fist bump.
All right.
We'll give you an air bump right there.
All right, there we go, air bump.
All right. No, I mean, I couldn't have said any better than that because you're absolutely right. There's a lot that can be said about any part of our lives. You know, if you want to lose weight, stop talking about it.
That's right.
Stop, you know, work on that diet and exercise. If you want to have a healthier lifestyle, then there's certain things that you can do as it relates to that. If you want to be better, more successful at school, you know, then maybe you need to study more, read a little bit more, get a tutor, whatever you need to help and support. And if you want to make your community better, then get up off the couch and do something about what you want to see made better. You know, Gandhi said it best, you know, you need to be the change that you want to see in the world. And the reality is that the longer we sit back and do nothing, the longer things stay the same. So I admire you and certainly affirm what you're doing and the fact that you saw a need and you decided we're going to put skin in the game. We're going to do something with this process. And we're not doing it for our own glory. We're doing it for the future of our young people. So thank you so much once again, Dr. Deidra Willis, founder of this great organization, Northwest Charter Organization. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Gary Jones, a strong partner. See, I started out just saying partner, but I'll learn you are a strong partner.
Well, I'm trying to do my best.
Oh, well, you're doing it well. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for being a part of our broadcast as well today, and we hope that you've learned lots of information about an organization that even now is making a difference. We hope that you will reach out to them and find out how you can be a support to what they're doing. And even if it's nothing more than just pick up the phone or send an email, text message and say, hey, we're thinking about you. Keep up the good work. If it's nothing more than that, you will be amazed at how far that will encourage people and inspire people to go one more step in the journey. We hope that you'll also like our Facebook page, which is Impact with Kenny Anderson, where you can see a video of the show that you've just watched, as well as behind the scenes images of the show as well. We hope that you'll join us for our next edition of the broadcast. In the meantime, have a great day.